everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another anime review. I just recently watched Aggretsuko, if that's the way you pronounce it. It's kind of difficult to pronounce. But it's anthropomorphic, so you have all these animals that are working in accounting or different parts of accounting, and Retsuko is the main character. But this little red panda has a secret all of her own. And she seems like to be the agreeable type, the responsible one, as everybody calls her. And you have other characters that are involved in the series. I really related to her quite a bit. I loved her. And, of course, the powerful women, the executive women, and the chauvinist pig boss. And it was sensation. Even the little brown nosers, the butt kissers. And, yeah, you run into those quite a bit in the real world. And yeah, this is exactly like adult life and the executive business world, and it's different how high you are up on the food chain, but it's really quite funny. And there's some really good laugh out loud moments, and it was created by the people who did Sanrio, and I noticed the art style, and they even make a reference to that. It was a breaking the third wall. I don't think they did that in the original because I didn't watch it in the original Japanese. There's the voice actress who did the voice of Retsuko. She actually did a really wonderful job. I mean, she could growl. Ooh, yeah. I'm not gonna say what that's all about because that might be a little bit of a spoiler. But beyond that, I really enjoyed the series. I liked the animation. It was very well done. Characters were likable. Situations were very common sense and organic in the way that they were meshed out. As far as anime series are concerned, I liked it. I can't say I was overall impressed by it. I mean, I did enjoy it. I thought it was extremely entertaining. I absolutely loved it. I did laugh quite a bit, which is good because it takes a lot to make me laugh. But being that a slice of life, well, actually it didn't get boring at all. Strange to say, because usually sometimes you get into slice of life and you get into more slow moments or mundane moments, and you'll lose your train of thought or you get disinterested. And no, this wasn't like that. It had a very easygoing way about it. And you could tell it was definitely trying to invoke a lot of things from Western culture. And I love the fact that it's allegory, and it's just so typical of just the certain types of people that you run across in work, especially the bosses, and how those bosses can be pains in the butt sometime. And I give it 3 stars. I'll give it 3.5, because I don't think it's the most perfect anime, but it's not at all bad. It's very enjoyable. And I would have, well, the art style I really enjoyed. I loved the whole Sanrio motif, and just because it's Sanrio, don't mistake it for that, because it's not meant for kids. It's more adult, especially with a lot of the double entendres and triple entendres that are going on. And it's very clever in that way. But it's not an anime series that will revolutionize anything, or, well, it might inspire you to write something, but I like the fact that it hit upon a lot of tropes, and it was just so funny. I had to laugh about all that, and just how very common it is for these things to happen in an office setting, because I've been there and I've done that. But as far as series are concerned, if you like animals, if you're into a whole anthropomorphic scene, then yeah, this will be right up your alley, because I love stuff like that. I love little animal characters. I think they're so cute. And Retsuko, I just feel for her, and being the underdog, you really want the best for her. And you can see a transformation of her character later on. It's very interesting and intriguing. I think that's what makes it an inspiration and very entertaining. I'll give it a thumb up. It's like I said, it's it's your standard work related anime. A lot of the events that happen either happen on the job site or elsewhere in this little world that it happens to exist in Japan. And you learn quite a bit too. You learn a little bit about culture and how patronizing it still is to this day. You think, Japan, why haven't you changed? Oh my gosh, you're still so sexist. But anyway, despite that, I still love the country extremely. I'm a huge Japanophile. Always have been, always will be. Or I guess you could say a Nipponphile. That would be more appropriate. I really don't have that much else to say other than I'm working on, well, I got one parody written. It's going to be recorded fairly soon. One parody that I'm working on. I have a fanfic that I'm writing at this point. And I'm writing another story, which it's about a young girl who is prodded by her parents to go into architecture, but she really doesn't have any desire. Her calling, her passion is to go into fashion, despite her parents' best wishes, thinking fashion will never support her as she goes out into the real world. And of course she meets love along the way. There's part of it. But I'm going to be writing that, as well as Internal Organs and Kingdom of Kevin. And then there's another one I nearly had forgotten about, but it was based on a conversation that I had with a friend of mine, a coworker. And I thought, you know what, it would be funny. We've seen all these movies. You have the paranormal, and why don't we have one with this a mostly African American cast, and it would be called "I Know That You Know." And yeah, the more it's just not just targeted toward African Americans. I mean, it's, even though I've always wanted to written I can't even talk. I've always wanted to write. I guess it's because of the trip, my whole light experience. I didn't get home until about 3 or 4 in the morning today, so I'm still kind of not making any sense when I speak, so please pardon me. But this whole strip wouldn't be garnered. Excuse me. It wouldn't be garnered toward blacks or African Americans. It would be for everybody. It's just that I've never really done anything like this, so it would be a challenge for me. That's the reason why I'm doing it. But as far as Aggretsuko is concerned, I really thought it was extremely likable, enjoyable, fun, and really hysterical in parts, and just some really good life, especially what Retsuko says at the end about how life could surprise you. And I thought, yeah, ain't that the truth? You never know what's going to happen. Life is, it's like I told my friend who unfortunately passed away. I kept telling him, I tried to get him out of his comfort zone and now just kind of evoke him out of his shell. I told him, I said, it's risk. You never know what's going to happen in the next nanosecond or picosecond. It's always something new and different, even though we're making decisions all the time. And you can control, well, to a certain extent, you can control where you're going. The other part's just up to a higher power. At least that's what I believe. But if you don't, then I respect that completely. But other than that, that's basically all I have to say. And hopefully they'll come up with a season 2, because I think that they have enough material to actually make a season 2. And I would love to see it, because the episodes actually improve subsequently over time, just like any really good series does. So, with that being said, if you're if if you're like me and you love Hello Kitty and it's something you grew up with and you want to see something a little bit more mature, it's not to the point where it's constant swearing that's understandable in the concept and the context, and it's not bad. It's nothing objectable or objectifiable or wrong in any way, shape, or form. It's actually very understandable coming from where Ritsuko's standing with Mr. Tone in many of the situations where she finds herself combating him later on when she comes into her own, because at the beginning she's very complacent, but like I said, there's a really fantastic transformation she undergoes, especially when something happens to lead to that. And it's just that's what happens in life. Sometimes there are people that come along that make us ascend to our greatest version of ourselves, and I've found that out for myself. But that's about all I gotta say. Till next time. Live long and prosper. Ciao tutti.